Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As you have already mentioned, I want to present my new project. You know me from mobile payments, but I agreed to be here to take part in this conference because when we talk about omnichannel payments, one of the most important things is authentication or identification of the user. And if we talk about omnichannel technology, it should be the same thing on every channel. This communication and this functionality should be the same one. And the problem is that there is this identity theft and stealing of personal data. So this is one thing, and login and password that is being used normally is too weak to protect us. And the second problematic thing is that introducing more complicated methods and, for example, masked passwords, it may be too complicated for the user. And when it comes to fast payments, quick payments, it won't be as comfortable as it should be. What we are working on is something additional to mobile payments, and this solution should be as some kind of additional service. It should be this multi-factor authentication, and this is also in relation to the ADAS directive. We are going to generally allow with a mobile phone to let you log in with a mobile phone and with something that I have, for example, my biometrics or my voice. The problem I tell about is that statistical internet users have 92 different accounts and only 3 passwords. They have these are statistical users. So let's think about more advanced countries where this number will be far, far higher. We statistically use 3 passwords, only 3 passwords for all the accounts, and all the companies that have internet users know that there have to be additional costs to provide service for these customers. So this is a problem for the business, and secondly, it's a problem for the people. It should be simple and it should be secure. What we have came up with is a solution based on at least 2 factors. First, your phone number or your mobile phone, and the second factor is something that I know, for example, my PIN number or voice biometrics. And I will show you a demo how this works, but in short, we see the login button, we click on it, we get normally password to be introduced with our login, but here you get a phone number and you have to call this phone number in order to log in. I will try to show you that now. Sławek, could you help me? Okay, there may be a problem. Wait a second. Can I have a question? Try to answer the question in the meantime. Can I have a question? Are the phone numbers for every service, or if we have, for example, 1,000 internet shops, will every shop have a unique phone number? No. This number is only connected with the session we have. So here we have a little bit different procedure. We generate a number, you have to call this number. It's a normal phone number, which is a token. And it is also very important, I will mention that afterwards, we don't have to use a mobile phone application. We can use any mobile phone without the need to install anything. And what is coded on this QR code? What is coded there? What kind of content? Also the phone number. If somebody has an application, they can scan the QR code, and if somebody has a normal mobile phone, so this is a potential security loophole. No, it's not. It's just an additional improvement for the consumer, just like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will show you how this looks like. I have a website, I enter this website, and a phone number appears that is a random phone number from a big number of phone numbers, and I will show you a call from my own phone. I call this number, and this is 718 801 999, and this is just a normal IVR. Please, hello in our bank. Um, and I can log in. I have to put in my PIN number. I log in and I am being redirected to the bank's website. It's a very easy method that can be used from any mobile phone. And here I had these two factors for authentication, my phone number and the PIN number. And this PIN number can be replaced by a voice password. But if I am already there in my bank and if I want to make a money transfer that is being confirmed with an SMS, I have to put in the code from the SMS, and I can do it more easily here. I get a number, I call the number, and because of the fact that I have already authenticated myself, I am only being seen just as a signature. It's enough to call this number at this moment, and it will be authenticated and the money transfer will be proceeded with. So this was just a normal phone call. And if I have a smartphone that has a fingerprint scanner and I have internet connection, I can open the application and I can use the same procedure. Maybe this will work now. I hope this will work at least. So I will scan this here. So I scanned this number, and it's enough to just put my finger on the fingerprint scanner, and I'm already logged in to my bank account. So if I have a situation in which I use mobile banking, then, if we offer to our users this banking, mobile banking, we can use the same application in order to log in on the bank's website, which is very important. And what is very important here is that this method can be used on very different channels of contact with the user. So we could imagine that there is a normal website and there's a mobile website that we get into through our smartphone, or a mobile application, call center, or IVR, as well as a physical point of sale or point of contact. These are very different, and this can also be authenticated this way. So, what my predecessor said, there was this service where I buy tires and I call Opponel, and I could have bought these tires via website, but also using IVR, I could have just given my PIN number or my voice password, just that to authenticate this transaction. And this is how this could also work. We can also authorize or authenticate users in a physical point of sale or point of contact. And what's very important here is that this authentication can be done on different security levels. If we need the user to receive new personalized offer, we only have to know that this is the user. I am always very worried when I shop online because the online shop shouldn't have my login and my password. It's only enough for them to have a personalized account of mine. And when I do a transaction on the website, I go through an intermediary who processes with the transaction. So the internet store should only know that that I am who I am, and a simple authentication should be enough here. And using a QR code should be enough to identify the customer and to know who this is. And if I need some additional data, some kind of confirmation, authentication, then maybe I should use a PIN number or some kind of voice password, and this authentication chain is far stronger. As I have mentioned at the very beginning, there is this ADAS directive being implemented, and this directive also imposes some new requirements on banks, where there is this multi-factor authentication, and our service is a simple issue which, without really excluding some people from the market, for example, those who do not use a mobile application, we can offer a service for nearly every person. And we can, for example, show it on the example of e-citizen or e-ID. I can use my own phone number as an identification method in an office, for example. And if I am more advanced, I can have an application and I can be a little bit more advanced, uh, no matter if it will be from a bank or from a different supplier. When it comes to applications of that, there is this automatic identification of the customer in order to give them some personalized offers, logging into some online services, call centers, and physical points of sale. Also, confirmation of transactions and operations, paying with a card, this 3D secure authentication, as well as the possibility to use that from any mobile phone without the need to install the application. So this would be all. And I hope that this service will be implemented and used. If you have any questions, I will gladly answer them. Everyone that knows Henrik knows also that he's present in this startup business. And please tell us, what do you think? Will this solution be successful? What do you think that do you think that the market is mature for that? It's not the question of the market being mature, but the market has to implement that. I showed you some statistics that were connected with the problems of logins and passwords and so on. This is a huge problem because there was also one statistical data, only two in five users didn't have their accounts hacked. So three users in five had their user accounts hacked without it even knowing about that. And also ADAS allows reducing this need for having login and password. And you have, for example, some websites where you are permanently logged in. Look at social media. If you are permanently logged in somewhere, you don't need this login and password. You only need it only then if you delete cookies, for example, and passwords. So having a password in order to delete it and set it up back again is quite stupid. So here you don't need login and password in order to do that. And this multi-factor authentication with the use of biometrics has to be implemented. So what do you think? Is this awareness also, are the decision makers also aware of that? Well, I think that the decision makers are getting more and more aware of that, but until as long as the PSD2 was not implemented, I think that we will get there. And these are things that aren't really complicated, and even the easiest things cannot be developed very easily, and it is far more effective. You've seen, for example, the SMS confirmation and confirming a transaction without the use of short messaging. So you don't need to receive a text message, but you can do it far more easily, and it will be more economical too. Do you have any further questions? Thank you very much, Henryk Kułakowski.
Dobrze. A wobec tego, na ile ta świadomość, o której tu mówisz, wynikająca z tych statystyk jest u decydentów, nazwijmy to tak, różnych, nie wiem, obszaru e-commerce'owego, czy bankowego, czy administracyjnego?
Ja myślę, że ona się rodzi, natomiast im będzie szybciej do wdrożenia PSD2, bliżej do tego deadline'u do wdrożenia PSD2 czy EIDAS, to będzie, można powiedzieć, coraz większa panika na rynku. Natomiast to są rzeczy, które są stosunkowo proste do zrobienia, tak jak Państwo widzą. To nie jest to skomplikowana technologia, natomiast czasami najprostsze rzeczy też jest trudno wynaleźć i odkryć, więc to jest dosyć proste rozwiązanie, które można dosyć szybko wdrożyć, tanio wdrożyć, jest na pewno dużo bardziej efektywne. Na przykład widzieli Państwo tam to potwierdzanie SMS, to potwierdzanie transakcji zamiast SMS-ami. To rozwiązanie jest dużo tańsze niż potwierdzanie transakcji SMS-ami. Nawet z punktu widzenia czysto, że tak powiem, ekonomicznego, z punktu widzenia banku już jest efektywne wdrożenie czegoś takiego, bo jest tanie.
Okej. Czy jakieś pytanie od Państwa? Jeżeli nie, to dzięki piękne. Henryk Kułakowski.